Ole, welcome to the wonderful month of March. It's coming in like a lion or something like that. How are you?
I'm good, good, good. How are you?
I'm very well. And you know, for people, Ole, who might not know that you and I do a regular show every Monday on patreon.com/light on conspiracies, patreon.com/crowdsource the truth, and subscribestar.com/crowdsource the truth. We're putting out these short YouTube and Facebook and Periscope videos to let them know that you and I discuss some topics that are not necessarily appreciated by the Googles and the Facebooks and the YouTubes of the world. So we've created this sponsor exclusive solution, this way for people to still see the information at a most economical sort of way. And today, you're in Sweden. Why don't you tell us about what's going on over there?
Well, the reason I'm in Sweden is that I've been doing guided tours, private tours, sort of for many years when I'm in Sweden. And what I do is I take people to the site of the alleged assassination of Olaf Palme, the Swedish Prime Minister, in 1986, which is the official story is very similar to the JFK assassination, more or less, with a lone gunman that walked up behind the Prime Minister and shot him dead. But I tell you, once you start digging into this, it is an incredible, multi-layered, mind-blowing case, to say the least. And I've been spending some 30-odd years looking into this. I'm also written this book, Coup d'etat in Slow Motion, which is almost 1,000 pages, very well documented, very well. I put 12 years into that book.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know about it, it's the biggest murder investigation in the history of the world, not only Sweden. And it's cost the Swedish taxpayers 2 billion Swedish krona, which is take away, I don't know what that would be in dollars, but it's a lot of money that could have been used better. And the official investigation is still staring at the crime site saying, we don't know really what happened. They tried to blame it on several different patsies, did not succeed. But and then people like myself who have devoted our lives to finding out what actually happened, and I found a very detailed image. We have just been, what can I say, totally neglected or threatened or whatever. That is the reason why I left Sweden, because I had two friends in the inner circle of these private investigators who was murdered, and I also had a visit there, which was very scary. So I decided to leave Sweden, and I have been living in Spain very happily since the year of 2000.
Wow.
And now I'm back here.
Basically a political exile from Sweden. Quite amazing. And you know, Ole, as far as I'm aware, you really are the world authority on this assassination of Olaf Palme. I think most people in the United States have never even heard of this guy, and that's how the deep state would like it. They have all these things that are just hidden in plain sight, right in front of our faces. They leave these little clues that are kind of related to their use of karma. You and I have spoken about so many different aspects of this type of thing throughout the course of time that we've been doing this show. It's become this kind of library of terror attacks, resiliency tests, you going through and debunking the obvious signs and signals, evidentiary anomalies like a dead guy lifting up a tarp and getting up to see if everybody's still there. Things that can't possibly be true and correct, but yet you and I are considered conspiracy theorists. Our videos are removed from YouTube. We get strikes. We get websites attacked. It's been an uphill battle, Ole.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I was mentioned for the first time after all of these years in one of the mainstream newspapers just a few days ago.
Wow.
And and I
Which
thought,
one was that?
finally. It's Göteborgs-Posten, the Gothenburg Post. And I thought it was a celebration of us people who have been. And now I see it, I misread the whole thing. And instead, it says that we have been spreading darkness in the light, and that we've been weaving a a wave of thin threads with no substance. So it was the exact opposite. I was flattered, and now I'm absolutely, it's the other way
Wow.
around, because I'm one of the key people they mention in this whole thing. But
Huh.
that's the way it goes.
Wow.
And when you say I'm one of the world's leading experts on this one, that could be questioned by several, because what I put for, I think I'm one of the people who have put in the most time and years and so on. And I would suggest that I am. But other researchers in this area would say they would question that, because what I found out is very, very controversial with this whole
Yeah.
assassination. And I hope maybe one day we can do a show just about that assassination, because it's absolutely mind-blowing.
It's
But
fascinating.
it is incredible. But in today's show, I want to take you to a place that I found during these years of investigation, and during all of this time, I bumped into more and more Freemasonic clues and leads over and over again in the background, how these secret brotherhoods are working, pulling the strings without people really understanding it. And I also managed to get into the headquarters of the Swedish Freemasons in the end of the 90s. And during that tour, I was taken sort of on a private tour, or not a private tour, but I slipped in with a group of just a few people that were guided around there. And in the middle of this tour, the guide who was living there, a spooky individual, very high up Freemason, he just said, like that, he just mentioned the anti-temple, the Kungsträdgården subway station. He said that that was like a pre-temple, an anti-temple, I don't know what you say, anti-temple, or like a minor temple connected to the big temple here. Mm-hmm. That subway station. I was like, what? So I asked him, excuse me, what did you say? And when he noticed that that had slipped his tongue, also that he wasn't really aware of who I am, he just totally neglected my question, didn't answer any more question, and walked away. But from that day on, I've been down in that subway station, and I tell you, I have found some very, very bizarre and super disgusting, very spooky things hidden right in plain sight, right in the face of the population, with no one understanding what's going on.
Yeah, people think it's cute, interesting artwork or something like that the city has decided to decorate the metro station, the subway, the underground, whatever we want to call it. But there's a lot of really bizarre and meaningful symbology down here, and your encounter with the tour guide, who is a Mason, is an interesting aspect as well. The exciting thing for our viewers today, Ole, is that yesterday you and I had an opportunity to pre-record a segment where you were sort of going around, was it downtown Stockholm where you were?
It's right in the center of Stockholm, in the center. And this is where there's been there's been the assassination of Olaf Palme, the Prime Minister. There's been a terror attack with a truck on Drottninggatan, Queen Street in Stockholm. And there's been a suicide bomber. These are more or less the three major alleged terror attacks in Sweden. There's been a school shooting as well, but that was connected also to these attacks. But the thing is that they sound and they look very separate. But once you're on location and you know what was going on in the different cases, you will see it's a stone throw away from. It's just like 50 meters there, 30 meters there, 15 meters there, and it's all in the same little playground where they have, it's their backyard. And we're talking about inside jobs, the enemy within, just playing out these horrible things right in front of us, and we, the normal person, won't have a clue. So this is why I just walked around with you pointing here, that's there, that's where the truck came, that's where the Prime Minister was shot. Just like in the JFK movie when Garrison takes his colleague downtown in New Orleans, and he points out the ONI was there, FBI, CIA, this, that, all of it in the center of this community, the intelligence community.
Yeah.
And I would say that we're looking at something very similar here.
Yeah, and you know, Ole, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you because you and I have done some really awesome international tours of cities all over the place where we go to these spots that we've spoken about and we help our viewers kind of visualize them firsthand in a way that I find so valuable. This is a nice sort of follow-up to David Hawkins and we went to London and went right to the fishmonger's house there where that narwhal tusk attack took place. And, you know, both your visit to downtown Stockholm and that, it reminded me so much of my days in Hollywood where, you know, you'd be on the back lot at Universal or something like that. And it's like, oh, there's Hill Valley where Back to the Future took place. And here's where the first Spider-Man movie was shot. And it's all sort of the same block in a fake neighborhood. And it's all just staged in such a way that if you look this way, you don't see what's going on this way or this way or this way. And when it's presented to viewers, it seems like a vast expanse, but as you point out, everything is right there, conveniently located for co-conspirators who need to stage a play and convince the world that whatever it is that they say happened actually happened. So we're going to have a great opportunity for people to see some of these spots that you have written about in your fantastic historic book, and also to see some of the things that we've spoken about so many times on the show. And we're going to be starting in just about 20 minutes on patreon.com/lightonconspiracies and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. It's the beginning of the month, Ole. It's only the 2nd of March, so it's a perfect time for people to join us. If they haven't seen the show before, they can log on and subscribe either to Light on Conspiracies or Crowdsource the Truth or both. And of course, people can always visit lightonconspiracies.com. It's a totally free website. Ole has tons of updates daily, nightly. I don't know when he sleeps, but you can read about all these topics and you can find links to Ole's support pages on Patreon, and you can join as a member of the page to receive his newsletter. But Ole, I'll see you in just a few minutes on our sponsor exclusive program, and this will be really nice. People are going to get an opportunity to see the photos that you took down in the metro station there, as well as some commentary on the bizarre Masonic symbology that's there.
And I just want to say also that people say, but why aren't you on YouTube? We would love to be on YouTube, but I get shut down there all the time. My channel with, I don't know, hundreds of videos was just deleted. And so it's like we're being forced to use whatever platform we can. So this is the reason that we do it like this.
Yeah, and we would love to make this stuff free for everybody to see, but of course, traveling around the world to Sweden and going to these places and all the other places that we've been to, it's not free, and having the equipment and paying all the bills to get there and have the cell phone and the website and all this equipment and all that, that's where the cost comes in. And certainly YouTube is not free. What's happened is in the 15 or 20 years that it's existed, they've basically given everyone such a compelling free product that it's almost impossible for any other competitive service to rise up and offer an alternative. And YouTube has essentially bought everyone's right to choose what information they get to see. So for as little as $1 or $2 per month, people can buy that right back and they can see this valuable information, and they can join us on patreon.com/lightonconspiracies or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth, where I'll see you, Ole, in just 15 minutes.
See you.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in a few minutes.